This channel won't survive without your subscription and likes. Help me. The guard took a step forward. No words, no emotion. Just a single, heavy, deliberate step. One that sent a cold shiver through Justin's chest. But what happened next would shock even those who thought they'd seen it all. But first, let's start from the very beginning. Late evening in London. A damp mist lingers in the air, bending the glow of the streetlights and wrapping the city in a soft golden haze. A crowd of tourists has gathered at the gates of Buckingham Palace, some gazing in admiration at the grand building, others huddling in their jackets as they observe the motionless royal guards. They stand like living statues, their rigid posture and expressionless faces commanding both respect and curiosity. One man in the crowd stands out, Justin, a 32-year-old American with reddish stubble and an unshakably cocky grin. He's dressed in faded jeans, a t-shirt with the bold phrase, "London, more like boring," emblazoned across it, and a light jacket thrown over his shoulders. In his right hand, he casually shakes a plastic cup filled with soda from time to time. Next to him stands his friend, Chad, a tall guy with messy blonde hair, an oversized hoodie, and worn-out sneakers. Unlike Justin, Chad appears more relaxed, though a glint of anticipation flickers in his eyes. He knows his friend too well. Justin lives for provoking people and never misses a chance to break a rule. "They say they don't move at all," Justin announces loudly, drawing the attention of nearby tourists. His voice carries a teasing challenge. "I bet $20 this guy won't even blink if I do something unexpected." Chad snorts and shakes his head, but before he can respond, a few people in the crowd turn their heads, intrigued. Some even pull out their phones to record. Justin's attention is locked onto the nearest guard, a tall, broad-shouldered man with chiseled features and an icy gaze fixed on the horizon. He stands perfectly still in his immaculate red uniform and polished black boots, the towering bearskin hat adding to his imposing presence. The guard doesn't blink, doesn't twitch. He might as well be carved from stone. The crowd holds its breath, waiting to see what happens next. Justin smirks. "All right, let's test this out." He slowly raises his hand, deliberately dragging out the moment. Chad tugs at his elbow. "Dude, are you serious?" But Justin doesn't stop. He steps even closer, almost chest to chest with the guard. With a smug tilt of his head, he reaches forward, and with the tips of his fingers, barely, just barely, touches the guard's nose. The crowd gasps. A few onlookers cover their mouths in shock. Someone whistles. Laughter ripples through the group, while others whisper, struggling to believe what they just saw. The guard remains absolutely motionless, but something in his gaze shifts. Justin, satisfied, takes a step back, grinning at the audience. "Told you," he smirks. Chad glances around nervously. Maybe that's enough?" Justin, now fully aware of the dozens of eyes on him, feels a rush of adrenaline. He lives for moments like this. "Whoa, seriously? Nothing?" He throws his hands up, playing to the crowd. "I thought this was supposed to be exciting." That's when the atmosphere changes. The laughter stops. Some people start backing away. Justin, sensing the shift, turns and notices it. The guard moves. One step forward. The crowd goes silent. Chad steps back. A chill creeps through Justin's chest. Only now does he realize he might have made a serious mistake. The guard remains still, his face expressionless, his gaze unwavering, his stance impeccable. Not a single muscle twitches, not a single nerve betrays a reaction, as if he isn't a man, but a statue in a red uniform. But the air around them is different now. The crowd isn't laughing anymore. The amusement has turned to tension. Chad lets out a nervous chuckle, trying to play it off, but there's an undeniable tremor in his voice. He tugs at Justin's sleeve again. Hey, maybe that's enough? But Justin doesn't pick up on the warning. He steps back, still grinning, still soaking in the attention. The eyes on him, the murmuring crowd, the flashing phone cameras. It all feeds his ego. So, that's it? No reaction? I thought this was supposed to be a big deal. His smile is wide, confident. He turns to Chad, ready to say more. And then, suddenly, sharply, without warning. The guard takes another step forward. The crowd freezes. For a fraction of a second, there is absolute silence. Chad flinches. A few tourists instinctively move back. The guard is now just half a step closer. His face hasn't changed. His posture remains rigid, but there is something ominous in the air. Justin's grin fades. His heart beats a little faster. And then, a loud, commanding voice shatters the silence. "Sir, step away from the Royal Guard!" From the left, two men in black suits with earpieces start moving in. Their expressions are serious, focused, cold. Security. Their strides are steady, purposeful. They are heading straight for Justin. The crowd starts recording. "Oh, this guy's in trouble," someone whispers. "They're definitely escorting him out," another mutters. Justin feels the shift now. His confidence wavers as he lets out a nervous chuckle, raising his hands in surrender, stepping back. "Hey, I didn't mean... It was just a joke. But it's too late. The joke is over. Now come the consequences." The crowd hasn't dispersed. People stand in a semicircle, clutching their phones, some looking disappointed, others intrigued. Some still hope for a more dramatic conclusion, while others whisper among themselves, discussing what just happened. Justin remains frozen, his grin now stiff. Up until this moment, it had all felt like a harmless joke, a playful stunt. But something has changed. A tall man in an official uniform approaches. The security officer, dressed in a sharp black suit with an earpiece, locks eyes with Justin. His gaze is firm, leaving no room for argument. He lifts a hand and gestures toward the exit. "Sir, please leave the palace security zone." His voice is even, yet unwavering. The crowd lets out a collective sigh. "Seriously? That's it?" Someone mutters. "Come on, I thought they'd arrest him." Another laughs. Justin blinks. He's clearly thrown off. Just minutes ago, he was the main character of the evening. But now, as everything boils down to a formal request to leave, he realizes that things have spiraled out of his control. "Wait, but I didn't do anything," he protests, spreading his arms. The security officer's expression doesn't change. "Touching a royal guard is a violation of protocol, sir." The murmurs in the crowd grow louder. Some shake their heads, while others smirk. Well, what did he expect? They take this stuff seriously. Chad exhales sharply. He already knows they've taken this too far. He speaks in a low but firm voice. "Dude, we should go." But Justin hesitates. He sees the phone still recording, the eager faces watching his every move. He realizes that this video is already online. His stunt isn't just a silly joke anymore. It's a story people will talk about. Everything he's done in the past few minutes is no longer in his control. Hotel room, late evening. The dim glow of the bedside lamp casts soft shadows on the walls. The only sound in the room is the muffled hum of the city outside, seeping through the tightly drawn curtains. Justin lies sprawled on the bed. One hand covers his face, fingers tensing and relaxing in a nervous rhythm. His other hand clutches his phone, its screen glowing a cold, bluish hue. Slowly, he scrolls through the feed, reading the comments under the video that has already spread across social media in just a few hours. Thousands of views, hundreds of comments, and almost every single one is either mocking him or outright condemning him. This is why people hate tourists. What an embarrassment. Why do something you're not supposed to? Americans go to other countries and act like clowns. Justin holds his breath. A hollow feeling spreads in his chest. Just hours ago, he was sure this was all harmless fun. A little adventure, a goofy moment to look back on with a smirk. But now, it's not funny anymore. He watches himself on the video, laughing, slapping his knee, making exaggerated faces, then reaching toward the guard's face, the crowd gasping, his eyes flashing with excitement as he plays for the camera. But now, looking at it from the outside, he doesn't see anything amusing. Now he sees himself the way others see him, as someone who disrespects another country's culture, as the typical tourist who visits a foreign land but doesn't bother to understand its traditions, who just assumes he can do whatever he wants. That's why people are calling him out. Justin slowly sinks into the pillow and closes his eyes. He won't say it out loud. He won't type it in a comment. But deep down he admits the truth. This night didn't end the way he expected. And maybe some lines really aren't meant to be crossed.